Oh boy, we're doing yet another one of these. My dog is under my blanket, so he's playing around under there. Oh boy, I've been getting more privacy lately because obviously my dad works in the daytime, and what's lucky for me about that is that even though he only works 3 hours, it's in the morning, so I'm usually awake in the morning and I can do streams or record videos or whatever I need to do. I tend to whisper a lot in my videos where there's people in the house circulating around, and so I will go up to my Snowball, my microphone, and because it's a fairly high quality mic, at least for the amount it costs, $60 USB mic, not the most professional thing you can get, but it's pretty good, I think. Um, when I use that, uh, I am your one viewer, lol. Well, it says I have three viewers now. Um, Also, hello, muggerfucker. It's good seeing you. My dog is trying to he's trying to walk out from under. Okay, he jumped down. But what was I getting on about? Yeah, so because the walls are so thin, I tend to get really close to the microphone and I have to like whisper into it or I do it into my phone. Abysmal Boy says, "Hi, watching at work." Um, yeah, have a try to have a decent time at work. Um, I had looked at the subreddit you had commented about on my last video, and it was something else. The people there were very, very, very bad, very interesting folks. I mean, I guess that's Reddit for you, but this subreddit was particularly bad. Stefan Barr says, "Looks like I'm the third." It's nice, nice seeing a new person here. I don't think I recognize your name. I'm watching from working at home. Nice. What is your occupation, or what do you do working at home? Look, he's he's digging. He's basically digging in my sheets. I know, right? But they got that schizo aesthetic with all the words spaced out, and it's weird too, cause I'm a schizo, but I feel like there are a lot of people online who sound like schizos without actually being schizos, and it's weird because like in the media, everybody thinks that people who are schizos are like Terry Davis. It's everyone who's a schizo is Terry Davis. That's the media perception, but it's not really true. But then you find people who are LARPers who want to be like Terry Davis for some reason, and then they try to become as incoherent and strange as possible. I work for the federal government, and that's the most I can say about that. Interesting. I wonder if you're a CIA agent or a MI6 agent watching my videos so you can so you can gather intel. You can gather intel on what my my un-American neat activities are. My dog is very tired today. He's just been kind of laying around. He didn't even want to go on a walk. I'm not gathering intel. I had a feeling you weren't. I was just making a joke. This He's so cool. See, I've had my dog since... No, he wasn't born on Christmas. That was the second batch of puppies. Um, the year before that, so that year was 2016, so it would have been 2015. Yeah, so he's almost 5 years old now, and it's a little bit crazy for me to think about the fact that he's almost 5 years old. Um, because like I remember 2015 wasn't that long ago. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. Well, certain parts of it feel a little bit like that, but 2015 to now, it's almost 2020. This guy will be 5 years old. I worry about it sometimes because he looks young and everything, he's got lots of spunk in his life and he's ready to, be a based go-getter and all that, but and sometimes I worry, when is he going to get too old? I don't think it'll be anytime soon. We had one dog that lived for over 10 years, so it'll be okay. By the time I'm like, what is that? Okay, so 5 plus 7. Yeah, so by the time I'm like 22 years old, I'm sure I would be able to handle it better than I can now. It's a bit of a depressing thought. I didn't mean to bring it up, but as the years go by, when it gets to be a new year, I sometimes start thinking about those things. Sounds like your dog is a bloomer. He is basically a bloomer. He's always in a good mood. But I love just laying down with him. Hello, uwu. We have a void in the chat. Someone get out the neat armor. We're putting on our autism helmets right now. Hello, what is your name? Hello, Violet. We're not doing very much today. I'm just kind of saying hello to people and petting my dog. But it's not a very eventful day, and nothing really of note happened other than the fact that tomorrow I have my kidney stone surgery, so I have to not eat after midnight. I'm kind of like a gremlin. You can't feed me after midnight. And I'm going to come into the hospital tomorrow. And that's when my appointment's set up. I have to be awake early in the morning, which I'm not really looking forward to. I woke up at 8:30 this morning, but um, tomorrow I'm probably gonna have to be awake up at like 5 or 5:30, so that's not gonna be fun. Finally catching a stream. Hello, no thank you. It's nice to see you here. Dog petting stream. That's basically what this is. But it's gonna be bizarre getting that surgery because for some reason when they put the stent into your penis, when they put the stent in there, that they do that part while you're awake. Like they do the lithotripsy while you're asleep. So they, obviously they put you to sleep and give you pain medicine and stuff. But when they put the stent in your penis, they do that while you're awake. Why? Why is it like that? Why do I have to have a tube being fucking wormed into my I don't know. I think it's a little bit weird. Um how is watching Horizon on the Middle of Nowhere going? No, thank you. I didn't watch your well, wait a minute. No, technically I did watch your new video because I was in a call with you while you were making it. Let's see. Millennial discovers urethral sounding. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a millennial yet, um, because I was born in 2002, so in order to be a millennial, you have to be born in 1996 or below, and so I'm not a millennial yet. Um, Obviously, in 2020, it'll shift to being 1997, and so whoever was born then will be a millennial, and then it just keeps going like that. One day, 2002 will be a millennial year, but right now it's Gen Z. I always thought that Zoomer was a funny name for generations. Is that like, the fact that someone is called a Zoomer wasn't really a 4chan thing. It didn't originate there. You had sort of older people in like the 90s would say, "Oh yeah, these Zoomers, they're zooming around." And then I guess it just got readopted. It just got readopted into being part of 4chan lingo because of the obvious correlation with Gen Z is that, Z, Zoomer, it just works. Um, is it just that boomers are pretty familiar with sounding and enjoy it a little too much? Um, I mean, I don't know why they would enjoy it. It seems like a rather unpleasant experience to have. Um, but when I was in the urologist the other day, I was listening to an old woman talk who had had like 7 different kidney stones, and I was like, geez, 7. There were so many old people in the urologist um, that were that were, they had so many kidney stones throughout their lives that it felt a little bit weird as a 17-year-old being surrounded by all these old people. Um, Digi finally did the rant about my Hidamari sketch video. Hey, nice. I'll have to watch that after I do this live stream. I I saw that he posted a bunch of rants today, but I didn't know that he had done that one. So that's gonna be fun to watch. Um, I wonder how long the video was if he just spent like 5 minutes, like what he did with Mr. Cynical's videos, where he didn't even finish them when he made the rant. He just posted the rant onto the internet and said, "Yeah, I didn't finish these videos. They were boring," and then moved on. So hopefully he finished the video. It was very creatively made. I think Digi would like it. I'm technically Gen X, born 1980, and my closest friends are technically Zoomers, born mid-90s. Interesting. Yeah, my dad is Gen X. Um, he was born in 1971. So you're about, yeah, you're about 9 years younger than he is. Um, it's very interesting that I have people from Gen X who watch my videos because like, I've had many people comment telling me that they were born, around the year that my dad was, or not before. I haven't had anyone say before, I don't think. But I've had a surprising pe amount of people who claim to have been born in the early 80s or even the 70s. And I think that's really, really cool because it gives me a more diverse pool of people who I can learn from and who can comment on the things that I'm talking about because I don't really view myself as a YouTuber per se. I just sort of view myself as a guy who's discussing things on the internet. And so that's why, like, I keep my Discord public, for instance, is that I don't even really use Discord that much, but I make my Discord profile public so anyone can message me or add me there. I make my anime list public where people can DM me there, and obviously I at least heart all the comments. Well, not all of them, but I read all of them, and in streams I try to respond to everything people say. And if someone leaves like a well thought out comment, I always try to respond to it. And so I like that about my videos is that they act more as a discussion than they do YouTube videos, where it feels like I'm always learning something from the people who comment or interact with what I'm doing. And so I'm glad that I can reach people who are from so many different backgrounds and who are older because the kind of wisdom that an older person would impart onto me isn't, something that I possess being as young as I am. So I appreciate all of the different people who come about on the channel. Um, that's because Cynical's videos are boring. They are really, really boring. Like, it's insane how monotone he is in his videos, where it feels like he doesn't try to, and obviously he's trying to be analytical, but it seems like he's not trying to be interesting whilst being analytical. He just wants to get down to brass tacks and explain the point. But even the points themselves, a lot of them are boring in my opinion, and he over explains them where he doesn't have much density in his writing, where it just feels like he's repeating the same ideas again and again and again, belaboring these kind of philosophical points that he had been making that have been talked about for a very long time. Like he's really into Nietzsche and these other guys. I mean, those guys have been talked about over and over again for so long now. It doesn't really seem like it adds anything other than by applying them to like Star Wars or one of these other things. Um, So it doesn't really feel like they're needed. Um, I wish his writing had more personality to them. But the thing is that he intentionally tries to keep the personality out of his writing because he doesn't want to be recognizable for having a cult of personality. The problem is that the fact that he doesn't try to put personality into his writing is a personality in and of itself. It's deadpan. You know, his personality is being boring and deadpan. So I think like him trying to evade having a personality is just making a new personality. The problem is that the personality itself is boring. And so maybe people sit through his videos who really, really want to listen to the same analytical points over and over again. But for me, I personally need a little bit more. I need the video to have more going on, to have more personality. It doesn't have to not be just edited clips on screen with a written script. That's how my written videos are. But I try to make the videos have some personality, to not spend too much time on one point and to be able to say things that people can grab onto. Um, I don't think I've ever sat through a whole cynical video besides the philosophy of Kreia, and that was a big struggle. I really admired how much effort he put into the video, but it was a difficult video to finish. I believe I watched the Lolicon video as well. I think that's probably his only good video is the Lolicon video. You need a special kind of autism to sit through them. It is true. And it's amazing to me just how many views some of them have, where, some of them have, like 100K views, and the Kreia video has like 2 million views and these kind of things. I don't really know where it all came from. And maybe YouTube just hyper promoted them or something. I don't really know why, because he doesn't tag his videos, he doesn't have a name on YouTube. I do know that one of the guys who worked on Knights of the Old Republic tweeted out his Kreia video, so maybe that had part of it, an initial boost. I don't know. It was funny because I remember when he first released that video, and on Twitter he was like adding the Star Wars Twitter account to get them to try and retweet it, and I was like, okay, dude, you know that the Star Wars Twitter account is not going to respond to this. Why are you adding these guys? I thought it was really like boomer-esque Twitter etiquette. Because that's what like the MAGA boomers do, is that they'll like at people who would never respond to them because of how many followers they have, but they add them anyway, like they're in a discussion with them. And I always find the boomer people on Twitter, and I mean actual baby boomers, not the meme sense that people tend to go on about. Um, this is my dog. I always thought it was weird how big of a mouth my dog has. Have you noticed this? Is that it looks like it's a larger size than other dogs. Maybe I could measure it. Is it a snout? I don't think it's a snout if it's a dog. It's only a snout if it's on a pig, right? I don't think dogs have snouts. Do they? Hmm, not mine. What a nice guy. He has little whiskers. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Hello. It's working now. For some reason, Google tapped out. The CIA got me again and took down my stream, but I'm back now. I don't know why YouTube does this every single time I do a stream. It's always around the 20-minute mark, the 15-minute mark is when they do their first strike, and then later on they just keep doing it intermittently throughout, and I don't know why. It's like YouTube versus Star. It's Star versus YouTube, the people versus a corporation. I don't know. They always try to get me got. I always get got in the streets, as they say. And I don't know why they do that to me. I don't know if it's the fact that I use a Samsung phone, but I've heard Apple phones having the same problem. Um, it's so Android or Apple, it doesn't make much of a difference. It's the one thing I really like about this phone is the fact that, you can do streams on it. It's really the only thing I like about it. But I started using this chatting app recently to talk to No Thank You. It's called Talks. Is basically like this decentralized messaging and voice calling service. And I only have him on there, but I already think it's better than Discord and Skype for voice chatting, even though there is a delay. I would rather use that to voice chat people than use Discord just because I really dislike the culture of Discord. And I mean, you guys have heard me go on about this 100 different times, but there's something about the interface, like the fact that people get banned for using the better Discord plugins and mods. I think that's a little shitty. But even then, like with those modifications that you can make to the application, um, the culture of it is something that I really don't like. Um, and it seems like Monkey Zulu, not Monkey. Monkey is a different person. I'm talking about Monkey Zulu here, the frequent commenter on my videos. Uh, when I made that video about the quote-unquote Red X Crystal situation that Red had asked me to make, he had commented that like the fact that this drama is happening at all is proof of why Discord is cancer and shouldn't exist. And I pretty much agreed. Um, because I feel like the culture of Discord is more toxic than other chatting services that we've had before, where like with IRC or AIM or um, even Skype, like Skype feels more personal. Less of this drama stuff happens where Discord servers almost become like 4chan, but people have a personality and there's name fagging. So because of the name fagging, the regular social dynamics that you would get end up blending in with 4chan and it basically just becomes Reddit. Oh my God, it makes so much more sense. Discord is the Reddit of chatting apps. Oh my, I need to write that down at some point. It makes so much more sense now. Discord is the Reddit of chatting apps. That makes so much more sense. Okay. I'm like my mind has been blown right now thinking about this. Discord is the Reddit of chatting apps. It just works. Look at how high my IQ is, guys. I've cracked the code. It's like my third eye is being opened. I've cracked the code. I wonder if Oso Solipsistic is still in the chat because I wanted to ask him. I wanted to ask him if he liked the video that I posted to my second channel for him because I basically recorded this video called This Christmas I'm Praying for Rain, and I posted it on the main channel, but I thought it was too incoherent, so a couple hours after in the morning, I woke up and I privated the video, but Oso Solipsistic asked me to make the video public, and so I made the video public so he could watch it, and so um, I wonder what he thought of it, but I don't know if he's still here. I just watched that video I liked. Oh, hello, Alexander. Um, yeah, I always get the Brazilian friends and the Russian friends who show up around this time when I stream. But when I stream at nighttime, it's all American friends. And I guess, oh, UK friends as well, because, what's his name? No Thank You was here earlier. Um, it's nice seeing you. Um, I hate Reddit's karma system. It's a popularity meter and restricts honest conversation. I agree. It's like the way that Reddit functions is to make the most popular posts and the most popular opinions get promoted, But the problem with democratizing the most popular opinions and the most popular posts to that degree is that the people who have more unpopular opinions just get buried. They just become non-existent. So you can effectively cancel someone who has a different view or a more controversial view in comparison to you. And it's really dangerous for open and honest discussion because of that. Um, so I don't like Reddit because of that. Or at least on anonymous boards, despite all the problems they have, you're forced to read opinions that you don't agree with, and the opinions you don't agree with are put at the same level to all of the other posts on the website. And so I think it's a much, much more fair system. It's much better for discussion. I'm having lunch right now. What are you eating for lunch? Um, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I love scattered monologues the most. I like those videos a lot too, to be honest with you. That video I felt a little bit uncomfortable about just because it was so scattered that I felt like people on this channel wouldn't want to watch it. And so that's why I privated it. But I like videos like that a lot, or where like the videos where Zabujard gets really incoherent and it's just kind of him like insanely rambling to himself. Like I love those videos. They're so much fun. Well, he's more unique than I am. He has more of a creative spark than I do. But like, you know, videos where the videos No Thank You made, where he's just laying in bed rambling to himself and it's just like a monologue. I love those videos. They're so good. And so it's one of my favorite kinds of content. But I felt like that video was just so rambling that it would have turned off a lot of my viewers. I don't think I should think about that though, because obviously I made the three videos in the unsubscribed series, and part of the point of my channel is to make, I guess, what I called anti-content. Um, was to what was the word? In order to kind of starve off normies, to keep normies away, and to make videos with the point of them being authentic. And so maybe I shouldn't have privated the video because of that, but I don't know. I get nervous about reactions sometimes where I don't know how someone is going to react or something like that. I I don't think about it nearly as much as I used to, but sometimes it still shows up. Um, yeah, I use Reddit, but just lurk most of the time. I go on there sometimes if I need to find information. If there's a specific like thing, like information about drugs or something, you can find it on Reddit if you look hard enough. Um, Zabujard, the human Markov chain. Yes, absolutely. I don't know how he so fluently goes from idea to idea. It's a little insane to me. Discord is more like Facebook. It's popular because everyone uses it. That's true. That is very true. Like, the only reason I'm on Discord is because people reel me in over there where my friends, the people who I care about, are all there and they're not anywhere else. And so what I try to do is get people to go to alternatives like when we were using Tux, but not a lot of people are willing to do that. And I like IRC. I installed HexChat for the first time in a long time, where usually I use EarC through Sigwin, but I put on HexChat because it saves the BNC, where you don't have to make your account get BNC itself, or you don't have to apply for BNC after 2 weeks. HexChat just saves the BNC. Um, so I had installed HexChat for that reason. Um, just because it's a bit more user friendly, but let's see here. Well, kinda. The Brazilian lunch: rice, beans, spaghetti, and ground beef. Interesting. Rice, beans, spaghetti, and ground beef. I've never heard of those things being combined with each other before. The only reason Discord got popular is because Ventrilo costs money. I've actually never heard of Ventrilo. It sounds sort of like ventriloquist. Normies will not do anything if it's unique. For example, Signal is a great messenger thing, but no normie I've ever told to use it has ever done so. I don't think I've heard of Signal before. See, there's so many of these more obscure chatting apps that I've just never heard of, and it's because people don't promote them. You know, I watch a lot of these Linux YouTubers, people who are very into Linux and they talk about the different things you can do with Linux. Um, and sometimes they'll talk about like Matrix or RetroShare or one of these other things. But like that's a very specific breed. You know, those are people who are already really into tech. You know, if you try to get someone who isn't into those things, they'll just go, whatever, Discord's easy to use. You know, which to be fair, RetroShare is insanely difficult to use. Me and No, we had tried to use it last night, and like we spent all this time trying to figure out why we weren't uploading or downloading anything peer to peer on the chat messaging service. And there were all of these like different options and things that you had to press, and it we couldn't figure it out because of how complicated it was. Reddit is good for guides made by users because of the voting system, but is terrible for discussion. I agree. I always liked the big image guides that they would put on 4chan where they would post a gigantic image and it would have a whole bunch of text with arrows pointing to different pictures and stuff. Those were cool. A Signal is more an alternative to WhatsApp or something like that rather than Discord. It's FOSS and audited for security, E2E encrypted. The only problem with it is it requires a phone number. Well, couldn't you use a burner phone? Like, get a burner phone and then just, you know, crack it? You could use it to confirm the service and then crack it afterwards and then throw it into a river or something. And then you wouldn't have to worry about it. Although you might want to go to a different state and get a phone number with their state instead of the state that you're in. But that's is that how burners work? I don't know. Yeah, burner is a common secure practice. That's why people like the cell phones that are flip phones, is that with flip phones you're allowed to take the battery out, but with a phone like my phone, the Samsung phone, you can't take the battery out. You just can't. And so, you know, who's to say that you're not being listened to all the time by the NSA? Because like I saw this Edward Snowden interview on Joe Rogan when it came out, and he literally explained how the NSA can turn on your phone at any time just to listen to you as long as there's a cell tower nearby. And so it could be listening to you even when it's technically supposed to be turned off. And the thing with older flip phones and the like is that you can take the battery out. You know, the one thing that they can't control is a power source. So if you can take the battery out, no one can listen to you. But with these newer phones, they've removed that. You can't take the battery out anymore. Um, but I live in Europe, so should I still worry about the NSA? I don't really think anyone should worry about the NSA. I used to be really, really scared of the NSA. I think I've told this story before. But it doesn't really matter. Like, all of the governments spy on everybody anyway. So, you know, it's one of those things that, like, people being over secure and getting into internet security is fun. It's just like a fun thing to do, but I don't think there's much of a reason to worry about spying. Um, you could remove the mic and the GPS. You can manually do that? That's so cool. Um, but yeah, I believe, and I don't remember this because exactly because I haven't kept up with the news about this in a while. This is stuff that I read a few years ago, so just be wary. But I know since Puri Purin, you're German, so I know that the NSA had spied on Angela Merkel and a bunch of other German politicians. So if the NSA has the ability to spy on your guys' politicians, then they probably have the ability to spy on citizens. I don't see why not. Um, but again, this information I'm basing this off of is off of stuff that I read a couple years ago. I don't use my phone at all, says Violet Payne in the chat. Yeah, I wouldn't use my phone if not for the fact that I have to use it to make videos. If I had something else to make videos with, let's see here. Um, yeah, look up the schematics for your phone to see where they are. Then you just need to remove them with then you just need to remove it with a screwdriver. Nice. Um, I'll have to look into it. Thank you. Thank you with two zeros. Wait, no, with one zero. Um, uh, I'm not German, I'm Dutch, but it's pretty much the same country. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have trouble remembering people's places of origin. I've been trying to get better at it because I noticed that a lot of you guys in the chat are reoccurring. Like you guys come multiple times. So I know Oso Solipsistic is from Russia because I made a point to remember it. I know that Alexander is from Brazil. And so I try to remember where people are from, but I don't always get it right because my memory is not very good. Um, I like the sound of Dutch, but I feel like German is a little bit better. PGP encrypted email is one of the safest and reliable ways to communicate. It really is. I used to be into using PGP encrypted email for a lot of things. I kind of want to go back to it. Um, I'm just scared that they'll catch me doing lolly porn. I mean, you guys come multiple times, Star. Yeah, I'm gonna give no thank you mod just for that. Where is add moderator? I don't know why he wasn't already a moderator. You guys come multiple times. Uh, but but yeah, like I don't think the Brazilian government is going to particularly care about, some random guy in their home consuming lolly porn. Um, because it is a third world country, or at least like a developing nation. So in developing nations, and this is based off of what I know, I might be totally ignorant about this, but um, based off of what I know, they're a lot less strict about cybersecurity. Because, like, I've talked to people on Discord at least who, are in like African countries and maybe not South American countries. I haven't spoken to people who are pedos there, but who have consumed actual child porn, actual like real child porn in Africa and in the Middle East, and like no one even cared. Like MI6 didn't go across the border to get them, the NSA didn't go across the border to get them or whatever. They like no one cared. So it those but that is Africa, so it's and Middle East, so it's a little bit different. But so maybe I have a theory that in third world countries um, that CP is more accepted. That isn't to say that Lolicon is CP, because personally, I don't think Lolicon is CP because it's a drawing. But um, but I know in third world countries, people even with real CP, like actual CP, people are pretty lenient about it because of just how bad the police infrastructure is, and also how bad the what is the word, the cybersecurity infrastructure is, the spying and stuff. But that's based off of what I know. Um, I don't know if Brazil has laws against that. Samsung is very user-friendly, sealed batteries, no headphone jack, etc. It's very hard to not be tracked online, and I'm not sure it would make enough of a difference in my life to justify the work. Yeah, I had back when I was really into cybersecurity, what I did was I had a Bitcoin. I had a Bitcoin account, and I went on Tails, and basically what I did was I went on Tails and I used Bitcoin to pay for my VPN. So that way, no one, my ISP, etc., did not know that I was paying for a VPN. My bank wouldn't know that I was paying for a VPN. No one would be able to tell. And so that's one way is that and if you want to be really autistic about it, use a different cryptocurrency to get the wait, no, use Bitcoin to get a different cryptocurrency, and then use that cryptocurrency to get the VPN. If you want to be really autistic about it, but I didn't go that far. He's stretching his legs out again. Look at this guy. He's so thin. Um, use Monero. I don't know what that is. Delete all cookies. I think one of the best ways is to have like a first of all install Debian. Install Debian. Don't use a VPN there or Tor or anything else. Just install Firefox and leave normal internet footprints on the internet that make you look like a totally normal person. And then have a dedicated computer to have Arch Linux on there. Um, Put on, obviously have Tor, and then have a USB drive of Tails. Get, the most secure VPN you can find through buying it with cryptocurrency over Tails. Um, and, get a PGP encrypted email. Um, so there's a number of other things you can do. Obviously, try and make as many purchases with cryptocurrency as possible, and these kind of things. There's a lot of different things you can do. Don't ever have cookies on, and these kind of things. There's so many things you can do to protect privacy that off the top of my head I can't remember all of them, but it's really, really cool. I used to be into looking at all the different guides. Um, let's see here. Um, Very religious, I hear. A lot of South American countries are very religious. Um, and obviously, yeah, use a burner phone. Um, Hello again. Hello, Jalen Doggo. Yes, the doggo is here. He's a good guy. I tried with Tails, but it didn't work, and it gave up. How did it not work? Um, let's see here. This corner of the internet has a lot of paranoid people. Yeah, what is the word I was going to use? I used to be very, very scared of people who I thought were watching me and listening to me. Is that I believed that my webcam was hacked. I didn't have any evidence for it, but I thought my webcam was hacked. And I thought that everything I was doing on the internet was constantly being watched. And so I wasn't really making videos for several months around this time. So this was, way back. I almost deleted my channel actually, but I tried to remove traces of my name off of all of the videos where I could find it. Um, but I believed I was being watched and tracked everywhere. And so I got really, really obsessive into how to make sure that my computer was not being tracked and that it was safe. So I got very into computer privacy stuff because of that. Um, and I did like weird things like blacking out the window and stuff, and it was a very weird time. Um, but let's see, what was I? Oh yeah, so Pisano in the chat said I heard numbers from burner phone get reused after they expire, so someone else could have it and use it to recover your passwords. That is true. The problem is, the problem is that the likelihood of someone doing that is pretty slim. Um, where like, if you what is the word? I forgot what I was gonna say. Well, really, it depends on what websites you're using. if you're using like YouTube, for example, well, that website's really mainstream, so someone else could get the phone, and then they could they could recover your password that way. Um, but as long as you're using it for sites that are less mainstream, it's a lot less likely. And I believe also you have to have someone's email on a number of websites in order for the phone recovery to work. You can't just have the phone number, but you also have to have the email. So if someone doesn't know the email, they're basically SOL. Look at him now. Oh no, he turned away. I wanted to watch him lick his foot. Here, do you want to do it again, Bert? Oh, oh well, he stopped doing it. He's got cute little feet. They're very tiny. Do 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 do. He's so nice. Isn't he just the cutest thing in the world? I've yet to find many dogs that look quite as nice as this one. And people online say I have an ego, but the only thing I really have an ego for is my dog. I wish it was raining today. We haven't had rain in a couple days, and I already missed the fact that there was rain. What are you looking at, boy? His mouth does look huge compared to his little feet. It is true. If you saw him when he was a puppy, when he was very small, his ears were so much bigger than his head, and even parts of his body, his ears were bigger. His ears still look pretty big, but they don't look as big as they used to when they were when they were a baby. Um, there was a period in my life where I thought people were following me in the streets. It's ridiculous looking back, but it made sense at the time. Well, if you have glopniks around, then of course you're gonna think someone's following you. Um, a cute doggo. What is his name? His name is Bertram, but his name is also Bert. Is that I usually call him Bert, but his full name is Bertram, and then his middle name is Lemmy. Is that I had named him Bertram Lemmy because at the time that I got this dog, well, at the time this dog was born, it was around the time that Lemmy, the main singer for Motorhead, had died. And so I wanted to name him Lemmy, but I thought Bert was easier to say if I was calling his name because it's obviously just four letters. And so I decided to name him Bert and then have his middle name be Lemmy in memory of, in memory of the vocalist for Motorhead. And my dad wanted to call him Gruppy when he was born. He said he looked like a Gruppy. I still think people are following me all the time. The only difference is that back in the day, I used to genuinely believe people were following me. Now it just feels like people are following me, but I know that they're not. Like, logically, I can discern that people aren't following me. But it always, whenever I go outside, I'm always looking around because it always feels like people are following me. And I don't know what that's about. I like how he has the ability to control the way his ears move. Is that his dad was a Jack Russell Terrier and his mom was a Pomeranian, but you'd never be able to tell that his mom was a Pomeranian, specifically because he doesn't have the very fluffy pelt that a Pomeranian would be recognized for having. Um, his hair is soft like a Pomeranian, but it's not puffy, and so you would never be able to tell that he's part Pomeranian. But the cool thing that he got from his mom is her ears, is that a Jack Russell Terrier doesn't have the ability to move their ears freely, but a Pomeranian does. And so he looks basically like a terrier in a lot of ways, but he got the ears and the eyes of a Pomeranian. where Pomeranians tend to have eyes that look black, um, you know, uh, yeah, eyes wide shut and all that. So their eyes look black, and so my dog has like the big looking eyes that a Pomeranian would have, even though he looks more like a Jack Russell Terrier. And so I always think mixing dogs is interesting. I think he's kind of an interesting result of the dogs mixing together. Um, DZD says, "Hey Star, hello there. Look who finally showed up. Ugh. Mm. I'm not doing very much today. Um, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you here, DC Dog. I'm almost always somewhat paranoid. All four of my uncles have schizophrenic or narcissistic disorders, including my dad to a lesser extent. Kind of freaks me out, probably all in my head. Do you hallucinate? Do you sometimes hear voices that aren't there or see things that aren't there? Even if it's something as simple as shadows or seeing shapes or even just your perception of colors looking different, those can all be defined as hallucinations. Although people who are related to people with schizophrenia or certain personality disorders are sometimes more likely to get stuff like paranoid personality disorder or stuff like schizoid personality disorder, or these other disorders that aren't related to having hallucinations. Sometimes they can develop into getting psychosis or hallucinations, but you're more likely to have something like that. Or avoidant personality disorder is another one, I believe. There's a couple ones. Heightened anxiety is also linked to people who you know, hereditary mental illness and this kind of stuff. So get checked out with a doc, and they'll be able to figure it out. But there's um, there's a higher likelihood if you have family members with those kinds of psychotic disorders. Um, Even if someone is tracking me, all they will see is me having spurgy conversations with myself and being weird in general. That is true. Like I don't have anything to hide, so there's not much I have to worry about from the NSA, and that's part of why paranoia is oftentimes irrational, is that, back when I did believe that I was being spied on and that I needed to protect all of my internet security and all this kind of stuff. Um, that wasn't a rational thing to believe. It was a deeply irrational thing to believe. So you kind of have to discern between them. Um, that isn't to say that privacy isn't a right. Privacy is a constitutional right because people shouldn't be listened to by the state. But um, and it's also an unlawful search and seizure, but that doesn't mean it should manifest into paranoia. That's a sign of a deeper psychological problem. Yeah, I have some visual disturbances, but it's more like breathing and slight color changes, some mania and stuff too, thinking about going to a doctor and therapist. That sounds like bipolar disorder, is that obviously if you're getting manic, uh, then sometimes you can have some psychotic features in that mania, like visual disturbances and color changes and these kind of things. That's related to mania, because my dad has bipolar disorder, and he doesn't hallucinate to the extent that I do, because I have schizophrenia, but he's had hallucinations before from his bipolar disorder when he's gotten manic or depressed, as it was a part of the disorder. So it's less extreme than people with psychotic disorders, but psychosis is involved to a small extent. Sometimes to a big extent, depending on the person. Especially when so Alexander is saying, especially when I stay at home for a long period and then go out, I feel kind of paranoid too. Yeah, I think a lot of people are like that the longer they spend inside their house. It's easier for them to become paranoid. DZD says, I've been lurking for the last few minutes. Oh, okay. He's just staring you down. He's so disappointed. I don't know what he's disappointed about. But does he have the look of disappointment on his face? I feel like he kind of does. Okay, now he looks more relaxed. Okay, Boomer. Okay, Boomer. I would show you guys my cat, but he doesn't like to be in here with the dog. Stepping out of the cave is always difficult after being a comfy neat for a few weeks. I see. And sometimes I get so obsessed into video games that, well, this doesn't happen as much anymore, but when I played Skyrim for the first time, and also several other times, what happened to me what happened to me was that I had played the game for sometimes more than 8 hours a day. Sometimes I would play the game, I would wake up, play the game, and then go to sleep. And then the next day I would wake up, play the game, and then go to sleep. And it was all I did. I barely even got up for restroom breaks sometimes. It took me a while to go to the restroom because I wanted to play the game so much that I wouldn't get up to take a break. I would grab food and then I would eat while I was playing the game. And I did this for many, many weeks of playing Skyrim. I did this multiple times because I didn't just want to play as one ethnic group or one class, like being a magician or something. I wanted to play as all of them. And I also wanted to play the different endings because you can be an evil character and you can join the Dark Brotherhood, or you can destroy the Dark Brotherhood, you can join the Nords, you can join the Imperials, and so like it's or the Stormcloaks. I called them Nords, but they're basically all Nords. Um, and so I've replayed Skyrim so many times. But when I played it, I was so obsessed that I did not do anything else. I didn't take any breaks. I didn't get up to do anything unless I absolutely, really, really had to go to the bathroom. And if I got food, I would eat it while I was playing the game. And it was a really comfy time. Like being playing that game, it felt as if I was in that world. And I didn't even have like an HD screen to be immersed in the world either because I was playing on an Xbox 360 on a gigantic, CRT 4 by 3, not 16 by 9, 4 by 3 CRT television. And it was bigger than like the one that I have over there. It was much bigger, but it was still like 480i, It was AV. I was using AV cables. Um, and so when I was playing it, like a lot of the text I couldn't read properly without really trying to look at it because a lot of the text was small and stuff like that. So I wasn't playing it in the optimal way, but the game was so good that I was able to be immersed into it as if I was in that world. So it was a really special experience. Same thing happened to me with Fallout New Vegas a whole bunch of times. Um, Having depression is interesting to say the least. Lol. It is interesting. I think a lot of the psychiatric disorders are interesting, and in a way, the fact that they're interesting makes them easier to deal with. Where it's obviously they're going to be hard to deal with no matter what, but the fact that you can say, "Oh, it's kind of interesting to be able to learn that I have this and other people have this," it's almost a way of coping in a sense. Um, I used to be really obsessed with anime. Whenever I do something, it's like I have to take it as far as possible. I feel that way about some things. And some things I get so obsessed with that I have to take it as far as possible. I didn't really do that with anime as much. I kind of did for a while, but then I got out of it. I'm still an anime fan, just not to the degree that I used to be. Have you tried modding Skyrim? It adds a lot more to playtime. I would mod Skyrim if my computer was capable of running the game. The problem is that my computer doesn't work very well with newer games at all. And I mean, Skyrim's a 360 game, but my computer was made in 2010. It's a desktop computer from 2010 that wasn't made to do gaming. It was basically made to do like writing and stuff, like used in an office, that kind of thing. It wasn't made to be used in a gaming context. You can play games on it, but mostly older games, just because the computer doesn't run very well. Um, in Skyrim, you don't really have a set class, so it's fun to experiment. I agree. I think we all take anime too seriously at times. When I was a kid, I tried to run like Naruto all the time. Now I just crack JoJo jokes. I've never really gotten JoJo. I've tried watching it, and I watched a bunch of episodes on Adult Swim when it was running on Toonami, but I never got into JoJo for whatever reason. Um, I remember doing the Aghima Imphium glitch was fun to mess with. I don't remember what that was. It sounds familiar though. Um, but let's see, what was I gonna say? Yeah, it was funny too because the other day I saw my sister running and I thought she was running like Naruto, and so I made fun of her for it and she thought it was funny. I couldn't get that much into Skyrim, unfortunately. Last time I was playing on the beginning of the year. I started having anhedonia and then stopped. That's very unfortunate. For some reason, I never get anhedonia with video games. I've gotten bored of other media. I don't really get anhedonia in general, but when I have gotten feelings that are similar or akin to anhedonia, video games are the one thing that it's never touched. I've always been able to be obsessed with video games, even when I spent like an entire year just basically locked in my room and I only left the house for, I think, less than 10 times that year I only left the house. And I was still obsessed with video games. So let's see, I've never played Skyrim. I'm good with Doki Doki Nekopara and Minecraft. Um, Doki Doki, I haven't. Have I played it? I think I tried to play it and then I just never finished it. I don't know what Nekopara is. Minecraft is a comfy game. I like Minecraft. Uh, I don't play it so much anymore just because I've played it so many times at this point. But overall, I don't like open world games very much. I actually really like open world games. Saints Row series, GTA, big open RPGs like the Elder Scrolls game and Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, not Fallout 4. I wasn't a fan of that one, but yeah, I liked the True Crime series on the GameCube, True Crime Streets of New York and True Crime Streets of LA. Both of those games I really liked. Um, what other open world games did I play? I think there was this one game on the Xbox 360. I think it was Godfather 2. Yeah, yeah, Godfather 2 on 360. That was an open world kind of GTA style game. Even that one I enjoyed, and the world wasn't that big. But the cool thing about it was that you could basically put on hits for the mob. You could help out the mob and stuff. It was cool. Um, let's see here. Uh, but I like games that have really good immersion, and open world games immerse me really well. I used to be like that with video games too. As you get older, it may grow old on you playing them a lot. That's how it's become for me now. Um, yeah, I think it depends. I think it depends on the person, because one of my favorite people on YouTube is this guy Johnny, Happy Console Gamer, and that dude is like, I think he's over 40 now, and he still makes videos with his like wall of video games talking about all the new games that come out. And for the amount of videos he makes, he's clearly able to play a lot of games. And he's not the only one. Like, I've watched Let's Players who are like in their 60s, who make Let's Plays that are hours and hours long. So I think it really depends on the person, because with the amount of people on YouTube who are older and still play video games all the time, I think it's a little bit unlikely. Like my dad, for example, just to give an example, he's almost 50 years old. I believe, what is he, 48 or 49? He's one of those two. He's almost 50. And he started out with the Atari 2600 and the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64 and, old computers and things like this. Like, I actually have my dad's ColecoVision that he used to play in the early 80s. Um, and he kept playing video games in arcades up through the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, and still plays on like the PS4 now, where like it's some of my most fond memories are just watching him play like a Silent Hill Downpour or one of these other Xbox 360 games that came out at the time, where he would like play these games for hours, and I would just sit there. I would just sit there watching him play the game, and we'd talk about it as he had played. And to this day, even though he has to work and he doesn't have as much time anymore, he still plays a lot of video games. And so, I look at his life, being someone who grew up with the first video game systems, the very first, and then the fact that he developed into someone who stayed interested in them through Sega Genesis, through Sony PlayStation, through PS2, and on through Xbox 360, etc. I think there's a lot of people who get older who still are really into games, and my dad is a good example of that. Um, because I remember when the PS2 era was around, I was pretty young at the time, but we had the Dreamcast, the GameCube, the Xbox, and the PS2. And we had hundreds of PS2 games. He just kept buying them. And so, like, I grew up in a household that was obsessed with video games. We had so many. We had so many video games that, like, the first game I ever played was Sonic Adventure when I was 2 years old. And I played Seaman and Worms Armageddon and a couple other Dreamcast games. When I was 3 years old, I started playing like Ratchet and Clank, and like Jack and Daxter and a couple, Katamari Damacy, these kind of games. Halo on the Xbox, Mario Party, Smash Bros, these kind of things. And I've been obsessed with video games to the point of it being like my life, a huge element of my life at the very least, ever since I was 2 years old. So that's about 15 years I got at this point. And my earliest memory is video games. And I think part of it has to do with it was such an important it was such an important way that I bonded with my father because he and we've had a lot of bad times with one another that I won't get into, but the most positive memories I have with him are playing video games. And the same with my brother too. I had a horrible, absolutely horrible relationship with my brother, but I can say that when I was 5 years old, we had so much fun playing Baldur's Gate. And so it's these things, they help you connect with people. It doesn't matter how many bad times you've had, you can still connect with someone over a video game and realize, maybe they aren't so bad. Maybe all these things, you know? Uh, let's see here. But yeah, there's tons of people who are much, much older than us who are still obsessed with games. So I think it depends on the person. Let's see. Have you always had multiple hobbies, or was there a period where gaming was literally your whole life? I've always had multiple hobbies. Like when I was 7 years old, I started getting into photography, and I've been into photography ever since then. Yeah, for the last 10 years. I've been making videos with a camera for the last 10 years as well. So that's been my hobby since then. And it's funny too because when I was 7 and 8, I had these sticky notes that I would plaster all over my room with ideas for different videos that I wanted to record. And I didn't, post these on the internet because we had dial-up and I didn't want to post them online anyway. But I would make and record videos all the time. They were like my little movies. And I just kept plastering these sticky notes uh, with the different ideas I had all over the place. And so that was one of them. I used to be really, really into drawing when I was young. That's also some of my earliest memories is getting really into drawing, and I did that for a very long time. I don't really do it anymore. Um, I liked, obviously, I liked taking care of my pets a lot, and I liked gardening, but I never really went outside very much as a kid because I was scared of my tachycardia acting up and me going into like a heart attack. And so I didn't go outside very much, but I did enjoy gardening sometimes. Let's see here. But video games, it was the main thing. Like, video games was my world. That was the thing that I focused on the most. Um, I feel like a lot of new games aren't really that great now, though. I think a lot of them are pretty great. Like, there are huge problems with modern games, DLCs, blah, blah, blah. But I think there's still some great things coming out, especially on Switch. Um, I wanted to still be like that with games. The only things I never get tired of is anime and visual novels, it seems. I'm actually the opposite. I get tired of anime pretty regularly, but I'm trying to get back into it now. Um, Visual novels are a bit too long-winded for me, but one of these days I'm going to get into them. First day of winter break and a star stream which doesn't seem to mismatch my schedule. What a nice day. I hope you're doing well, friend. Yeah, you too, B. I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice having you here. At least I finished Persona 3 last week. It was fun. I mean, that's a pretty long game. So kudos to you, Alexander, because I have Persona 3 FES, and I played it for I think like 5, 7 hours, something like that. But it's not working on my PS2 anymore because there's a laser problem, so I need to replace the laser in it. Um, I'm trying to get into manga. Just bought the rest of Citrus and A Silent Voice. I don't think, with my personal taste, I feel like those would be the kind of manga that I wouldn't enjoy. Maybe A Silent Voice. The movie was pretty cool, but yeah, I feel like the Citrus manga would be kind of like Yuri baiting. I'm not really into that. Hello, Star. You're a star. Thank you. You as well. The Dreamcast was a good underrated system. I agree. I think a Dreamcast is probably one of the best consoles, and obviously I'm biased because it was the first one I ever played. But I still play my Dreamcast. There's a lot of great games on it. Um, let's see. I think I'll never really stop playing video games. It's just that I can't play them that much like I used to. That's fair. Ever had a gaming husbando? Ooh, not that I can think of. Um, yeah, no, I can't really think of one off the top of my head. Um, hmm. Yeah, no, I can't think of any. I guess, no, that's not entirely true because I had sort of a crush on Leon from Resident Evil 4 for a while. Yeah, when I first played Resident Evil 4, like several years ago, I kind of had a crush on Leon from that game. I'm mostly the same. I rarely or hardly play games now, but I still come to them back from time to time. FES was the version I played, yes, on an emulator. Oh, I see. Um, my computer is not good enough to play PS2 emulation. I wouldn't really want to play emulation anyway because I like physical media, and cause there's something about it. Just owning physical games feels better. Owning physical games just feels better because you can put it in the console and you can play it on your TV, and it's kind of a first world thing. Like, obviously, if you're in the third world, it's video games are going to be more expensive, and so you kind of have to be careful with how you spend your money. But for me, because I've had disposable income at times and I don't have to worry as much about high video game prices, I really got into the habit of buying the physical games. And part of it is for nostalgia because that's what I grew up with. And but there's also, in my opinion, a different feeling. There's a different feeling that comes with playing physical games, like turning on your TV and having the authentic controller and hearing the sounds the console makes and putting the cartridge in or putting the disc in. Like, it just feels different to me. And I can't really explain why. It just feels like a different feeling. I had a PS2, but unfortunately it got stolen. Wow, who would steal a PS2? I always thought the cool thing about Brazilian gaming was that you guys had a Netflix disc for the PS2. Like you guys are the only country that had Netflix on the PS2, and so they sent you a disc. They sent you a disc in the mail where people could open up the Netflix app on their PS2. And I find that so bizarre that you guys are the only one who had that. It's a different experience. When you play in HD on an emulator, it's like a new game or remake. It's the only way I play PS2 these days. Um, I don't really like the feeling of it being a remake though. And plus their emulators have a lot of bugs as well. Um, but but like you could theoretically use what is the word? Not well, you could use component, but you could get there's an HDMI converter called the pound cable for the PS2, and it basically outputs the component signal, the Y, B, R, etc., in the menu from component to HDMI. And then you can get what's called an M cable, which basically has a chip on the inside of it, which upscales all of the footage and cleans everything up. It redraws all the lines and stuff. And if you use one of those, it can make it look really good quality, especially because a lot of PS2 games support progressive scan. So because it's redrawing all of the lines on what's a 480p image or a 720p image, even in some cases, although that's more rare, it's able to redraw the lines into being a 1080p video signal that is more cleaned up and polished. And I never thought this was possible, that, an HDMI cable could actually redraw the lines and convert the signal into being something that looks as good as it did. And obviously they cost like $100, but it's a really amazing cable. If you want to use the native hardware with something that makes it look better, the M cable makes it look like a whole new system almost. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's amazing where they took the technology because I didn't notice any frame drops or anything like that. Um, and also the FrameMeister is out there as well, is that I mean the FrameMeister costs like $400, but the FrameMeister without any frame drops is able to, take AV and RGB SCART and these other formats from older systems and make them look really, really crisp on newer televisions. Um, of course, I enjoy playing the games on a CRT, but if I ever got an HD CRT television, like a Sony Trinitron from the early 2000s, I believe the last Trinitron model they made was in 2006. If I wanted to get one of those later Trinitron televisions that supports up to 480i and 16 by 9 and stuff, I would want to use it with like the FrameMeister and the M cable, just to get the best quality that I could, while also being able to get the depth perception that you get on a CRT TV, especially with older games, because CRT is better at conveying depth than LCD flat screens are. But there's a number of downsides. Like obviously, the flat screens have can go up to a higher resolution. 480i. There's a certain number of lines that it has to skip on the older CRT, but the depth perception is better. And it's also better for older consoles that were meant to be used on that television. And so I like them more because of that. But let's see here. Brazilian ROM hacks are a treasure. They seem very interesting. I've seen like Brazilian NES ROM hacks before, and I thought they were pretty cool. Netflix on PS2. I didn't know that. Yeah, Brazil was the only country that got it. Um, do you prefer CRT or HD cables, VGA component, RGB on a flat screen? Um, I prefer using a CRT personally. I would prefer to have an HD CRT though, like I mentioned, the newer Trinitrons that they had produced near the tail end of the CRT's lifespan. I would prefer to use one of those. Part of it is because it's the TV I grew up with. You know, we had that TV until like 2016 we had that TV. And so I just always saw it when I went in the living room. So part of it is nostalgia. But also, there is a very real technical case to be made, and you can watch a Digital Foundry video. If you just look up Digital Foundry CRT, they break down all of the technical reasons for why CRT televisions have better depth perception, even on new games. And so it was a very convincing case that they made. Um, and they broke down all of the specs and stuff. But my ideal situation, my ideal setup would be using an HD, 16 by 9 Trinitron, and then having HD cables and component cables to be able to use most of my systems. That would be the ideal for me. Um, Lucky you, what happened to that TV? Did it break? Yeah, unfortunately, it did eventually break because we had a lightning strike, and because of the lightning strike, it broke a lot of electronics that we had. The TV actually did work for a while after, though. Like, even though the lightning strike had clearly fucked up the television, it took 2 more years until it broke. That's how sturdy that goddamn thing was. And so it was a trooper. But we got it in like the year 2000. And so it had been around the block, let's just say. And so multiple lightning strikes later, and it took a couple years for it to die. Let's see. The Russian guy says, "Hey, finally got to make it to a stream at the right time." Yeah, nice to see you here. Wait, no, you're Dogod. Dogod. I need to just call you that because I don't know how to pronounce your name. Um, do 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 do. Ugh. Yeah, video games are so cool. I've noticed myself getting into more and more lengthy video game discussions on these streams. I don't really make video game videos anymore, but because we've gotten into so many of these chats on streams lately, part of me is thinking I should make videos about video games again. Give me a vote in the chat. Do you think I should do it? Because part of me really wants to. Like, it's just so much fun to talk about games, and so I'm thinking about going back to doing it. I think it would be a nice addition to the channel. What a nice guy. So he posted a plus in the chat, or is that a Christian cross? I can't quite tell. Yes, do it. Okay. Um, so we have what looks to be at least two votes to make videos about video games. That's enough for me. Yes, I'd love to see videos on modern and retro gaming. Okay, cool. You should try and make video game humor reviews. I'm not very funny though, so I don't know how I would make the reviews funny. If I think of a joke, if I think of a joke, I'll be able to I would obviously be able to put it in the video, but I don't like shoehorning in jokes. Um, let's see here. Sir Appleton. Hey, Sir Appleton, I didn't see you there. Yeah, make videos. And then DZD says, do it. You want to play your Mario games. You got big, you got a big Mario Rames is a big Thames. Yes. I appreciate it. Um, so okay, the vote seems to be unanimously positive that I should make videos on games. So I have a few ideas. Um, I don't want to spoil them. I don't want to spoil them at this time. Just be honest. I find your blatant truths hilarious at times. I'm glad I can be comedic just by being myself. That's what people always tell me, is that people in real life and also my parents always tell me that I'm the funniest when I just say when I just say the things that I'm thinking or the things that I believe, and I never really understand why they're funny, but other people find them funny all the time. So I'm glad I can make other people happy just by doing that. But it's weird because I'll say things that I think make total sense, and then people will just think I'm funny for either the way that I say them or what I said. And I think it's pretty cool that I can make people laugh just by doing that. You know, other people have to put effort into making people laugh. They have to form a joke and structure it. I'm able to do it just by saying stuff. Talk about games you like and get me into them. I'll try my best, friend. Let's play more Kirby right now. Because we were playing Kirby on the last stream. I want to play it again. It's taking a moment to boot up. See, this TV has been through hell and back. So it always takes a moment to boot. Let's see here. See, the way that I put the tripod down is I have a big stick that's sticking out of my bed. Um, I have a big I have a big stick that's sticking out of my bed, and I basically I contort the tripod surrounding it. Let's see here. Did I accidentally put the cord behind the system? I think I did. That wasn't very bright. I don't know why I did that. I was, let's see. I was curious about your name, Star. Where did you get it from? Basically, how it arose was that I was in a friend group. Well, I'm still in their group DM. Was what they told me was basically that I'm someone who is like a JoJo character. I don't know exactly why, but they said I was a JoJo character, so they kept calling me Joestar. And everyone in that server called me Joestar. I don't know where it came from or why, but that it just showed up one day. And so eventually I just started being called Joestar, and eventually they shortened it because obviously saying Joestar was too long. And so they started calling me Star. They just called me Star, and I just kind of rolled with it. My old name was Outlaw, but I chose that name for myself, and I like the idea of having other people choose the name. We're like, it's like giving yourself a nickname, you know? It's not cool to give yourself a nickname. That's something that happens organically. And so I kind of used that. I just took the name Star as a homage. It was a way of showing that I appreciated the name that those guys gave me. Um, People think I'm funny because of my autistic reactions on different things. Like, I'll just stare at someone and they'd laugh. I literally do the same thing. What the hell? Oh, okay. I got the health I needed. Oh shit! No! No, no, no! I need to. Gotta catch them all. Come on. Come on. No! It went away. So sad. I liked that power up. Neatbucks is really great. I'm sure it is. Let's see. It's crazy that your name is a JoJo joke, yet you don't like JoJo. Well, it's because those guys were fans of Shonen. Like the name of the server was literally Shonen Hell. That was the name of the server, and I'm not even a Shonen fan. I just ended up hanging around lots of Shonen fans. Um, uh, let's see here. You don't have to live by your mom. Yeah, I'm sure. Um, let's see here. Oh. Oh, look at this. Oh, oh no, I got shot. All you have to do is take the thing out from under him, and he falls down. That's great. Oh no! Okay, I flew above him. I'm safe for a little while. Hey, he can point above you. What the fuck? Okay. How do I... Oh, I just scooted around him. Beam! Woo! Wait, okay, I died. This is like the easiest game you can play. Not going to lie, shonen is a trash genre. I agree. Okay, yes, we're Ice Kirby now. Based! Based! I love this guy so much. Ice Kirby. Ice. Now there's Fire Guy over there. I can't let him burn me. I have to. I'm gonna get shot. Okay, I almost got shot. Um, come on, Kirby. Go a little bit faster. Don't let me do this. Okay, there's the star door. We're almost there. We're gonna make it out. Okay, there we did it. Uh, I actually like shonen sports shows, like Prince of Tennis. I really enjoy. Let's see. Not going to lie, shonen is a trash genre. I agree. I'm not into shonen that much either, but JoJo is good. My problem with JoJo is that it just feels like a lot of characters yelling at each other, and then that's the point of the show. Like, I don't really see much of a point in that personally. It just sounds like a bunch of people yelling at each other all the time. What's the point in that? I don't get it personally. Okay, that did something. Okay, you have to swallow his bomb. Because if it's not love, then it's the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb, the bomb that will bring us together. Let's see here. I'm so bad at video games that even Kirby is hard for me. I think this is actually one of the harder Kirby games, just because it's an NES game. But let's see here. What I'm generally pretty all right at most games if I practice for long enough. Like I did beat Ninja Gaiden, the Holy Grail Ninja Gaiden. I did beat that game, so I don't think anyone can say that I'm bad at video games because I took enough time. I practiced for long enough to be able to beat Ninja Gaiden. How many people have done that? I gotta wonder. I haven't beaten Ninja Gaiden 3 though. That's the real holy grail because Ninja Gaiden 3 only gives you they only give you 3 lives, but the game is brutally hard. So one day oh my god. That was fucked up. Did you see that? Uh SAO good or bad guys. The show's terrible. I watched a show like oh wait, no, you have to kill this guy in order to get past. Under this sign you shall conquer. Okay, here we go. Ah! Okay, I'm alright. Okay, come on. Blow it at me, man. Come on. Okay. I got him. And now I have to suck him up? Yay! What is this? I can just scream at people. That's my power now, is screaming at people. It's an SJW ability. Okay, do I scream at this guy? Wow, okay, that was surprisingly effective. Wait, no, my star! Oh! Okay, I just shoot it at him? Okay, that wasn't too hard. What does this guy have? Is it just ice? No, it's freeze! Um, let's see here. You can swallow the boss after you kill them, can't you, and get their power? Yeah, you can. My Zoomer friends are trying to get me to watch JoJo, but it was hard for me to make it past a few episodes. Yep, just a lot of yelling. I agree. Um, the abridged SAO is pretty funny. I liked the abridged SAO. I thought it was pretty funny. It definitely has some of the best dub acting in any like abridged series. Like obviously Team Four Star is the classic, but I think SAO abridged has the best writing and much better acting than most abridged series. I've never beaten Ninja Gaiden. I'm not a true gamer. What's this game even about? Jumping and eating? Yeah, you pretty much just platform around and then you just kill your enemies with oh wait, no, you're supposed to go at him. I forgot. Okay. Right. So you eat the power-ups and then you use oh no, I died. You eat the power-ups and then you attack the enemies with them. It's your standard platformer, you attack stuff. But the reason why this one is a bit more unique is just because of how many different power-ups you get, and also because oh shit, and also because of how big the world is. Where like there's a lot of different levels, so many different enemies you can fight against, and oh my god, I really need to time that. So many different enemies you can fight against, and all the power-ups are different, where some of them are kind of derivative of one another. They're a little bit similar, but I keep not timing this. I'm doing terribly against this guy. At least I'm not getting hit very much. Okay. Okay. There we go. I did it right that time. And it's also very colorful. Like part of the point of Kirby games is just to look at how pretty they are, where the pixel art or the models or depending on which iteration of Kirby you're playing, tend to have really pretty graphics. Like part of the experience is just to play something that looks cute. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Hey, I have a hammer now. I love just beating the shit out of people with this hammer in this game. It feels so good. Okay, what's this guy's MO? Oh, no, he picked me up. Okay, I'm gonna hit you. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this game is based. I love this game. I think I've... Okay, so he's another one of those grab attack guys. Shit. Oh, wait. Okay. No, he was hitting me. No! My star! Well, okay, he killed me. I like making the sounds like AVGN. Making the sounds when you're... Oh, wait. No, he's a grabbing guy, not a shooting guy. I tried to suck when he was going around. I did it wrong. So what do I do? Oh wait, no, he has these things. So you just maneuver around him and wait for him to shoot out the buzzing bees or whatever, the ladybugs. Hey, there we go. Backdrop. Uh, let's see. I like this term, based. Based is a nice term. I think I'll try this one. I've tried the first one, died at some point, had to start this thing all over again and just deleted it. You mean the first Kirby game? Kirby's Dream Land on Game Boy? That was the first Kirby game. Then there was Kirby's Dream Land 2, and then this one, Kirby's Adventure. I thought, like for me, Kirby's Dream Land only lasted about, I want to say, I want to say it was about 20 minutes that game. It was very, very short. And it was pretty easy. It's like a game for little kids. There was a Kirby game on Super Nintendo. I don't... Oh, shit. Okay. Um, if I can get that star, I can shoot it at him. There we go. Oh, wait. I have to... The thing is, the stars don't last very long when he shoots them out, so I have to be very careful and wait for him. Let's see, like this. Like, I have to grab it at the exact right time. And then he's going to do his little thing where he. Oh, it's not a pattern. Okay. Let's see. Okay, and then you shoot him with that. See, he's blinking. He's about to... Ever played Dreamland 3? Probably one of the best. Which console is Dreamland 3 on? Is that the Super Nintendo game? I actually don't remember. It probably is one of the best. Oh, shit. Okay. SNES. Yeah, so it is the Super Nintendo game. Okay. I haven't played it. I haven't played it yet. I saw the what was it? They had the Kirby Star Saga or whatever on
Super Nintendo. I used to have that, but I traded it because I didn't have a SNES, and I wanted to get a different game. I didn't trade it into a store, mind you. I traded it on Nintendo Age. Fireball. Here we go. How many more stairs do I have to go up? Is this it? Do I just keep? Oh, there's the star. This level is basically like a boss rushing level. Oh, I have to be careful here. Oh, hey, nice. Push A. Here we go. Do 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 do. I love the sound effects in this game too. Like the music is really cute. The sound effects are all cute. It's just a perfect game. Woo! See this fire. Oh shit! No 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 no! Give it back. Oh no. Well I. Wow. It literally makes you fall asleep. This level. This level is dangerous stuff. They're tricking me here. Okay, so now I'm back to normal. So I have to shoot these guys out, not eat them. Woo! Okay, this guy I can eat because he gives me a sword. Have you ever noticed how the hammer isn't that different from the sword? Like, oh no! Like, the hammer isn't that different from the sword. The only difference is that the hammer feels slightly different, where it feels a bit more powerful and clunky to use. Where it's like strong, but it's slower to use, whereas the sword has more agility, or it's quicker to use. And also, you get these swords that you can throw, which isn't the same as the sword that you don't throw, because this is the cutter, so you throw it around, but the sword is just something that you slash people with. But I've noticed the hammer and the sword are pretty similar. The only main difference is the fact that the hammer feels more clunky and slow. Hammer can hit pegs down, but I don't know if pegs are in adventure. Um, why no sound? There is sound. I can turn it up louder. Is that better? My one criticism of Dreamland 3 is that there are no hats for abilities, but Superstar came out the year before and had hats. Huh, interesting. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I almost killed myself. Oh. Okay, there we go. Freeze. Woo! So I can't freeze those guys. Oh no. Well, I didn't need it now anyway. Now you can hear? Okay, cool. I'm really just breezing through this game at this point. Oh, hell yeah! I love this power-up so much. Wait a minute. No, I don't. I thought this was the wheel power-up. This one's terrible. Wait, no, that's a sleepy guy. Gotta get rid of him. Oh, tornado! I want that. I want that so bad. Okay. It didn't work. This is a knight, so I need his cutter. Well, that's... I love the little sounds they make when you die. And the fact that the whole game is comprised into different levels, but all the levels have different doors that you can go into for the stages. And you can go back to a stage if you want to, you're always free to do so. It feels much more advanced than other NES games. Oh, I got a laser! Wait, no, I want the laser back! No! Well, okay. Sleepy guy, get out of here. Hey, tornado! Oh, well, no more tornado. This is how bad I'm doing today. Do I... Oh, well, I couldn't get the cutter either. Oh, sword guy. Yeah, this was the knight, not the other guy. The other guy was the cutter. Oh, hell yeah. I gotta be careful. See, and this is the other thing, is that the sword does the spinning attack. You can't do the spinning attack with the hammer. And so the sword is really cool because of that. Oh no! I need to get it back. There we go. I think I'm actually killing myself more to preserve this sword than I would have been otherwise, though. And the sword is much more fast than other weapons as well. DKC2 Donkey Kong Country is the greatest game of all time, with Donkey Kong Country 3 not far behind. I need to play those games more. I've played them before, but never to a great extent because I didn't have the physical versions. But I don't think I would think they're the greatest game of all time, you know, being a number 1 and 2 respectively. But I do think they would be very high up for me if I actually completed them. They're very, very special games, not just in graphical style, but also in terms of how they were done. Have you ever played the Donkey Kong Country trilogy on the SNES? Some of my favorite platform games to this day. I have played them briefly before, but I need to actually get into them. I don't have a Super Nintendo, that's mainly why. I would like to play them on the original hardware, as they were intended to be played. Hey, do you program? I used to program. I was really into Python, because Python was easy to do, and what I would tend to do was I had made text games in Python a lot. I was really into making text games, just because I like text games on like the Commodore 64 and stuff, and so I got into it for a while. I don't really do programming anymore, because everything I was doing back then was really simple and rudimentary, but I thought it was fun. I might get into it again one of these days, I don't know. Oh no, I forgot about that guy! Oh no! Donkey Kong Country 1 is great, just not as good as the sequels, I see. Okay, so I need to get one of these power-ups up here. Okay, definitely this guy. This guy's rocking. He is rocking out here. I need to get enough air to blow this thing up. Here we go. God damn it. Oh, that guy had nothing. What was I doing? I should have sucked that thing back in. Okay, this guy has a better thing anyway. See, look at this. This is so cool. Can you slide in this one, hold down the D-pad and press A? Yes, you can. Yeah, I had done it, earlier, well, in the last stream. Oh my god, okay, let's get it back. I gotta be careful around this guy. Oh my... Oh no, okay, wait, no! I was going to get it back! And then I ended up shooting it instead. I'm terrible at this game. See, it's a bad sign when you're not good at Kirby, of all things. Kirby is supposed to be the most easy baby game, And when I make beginner rookie mistakes like this, it's never a good sign. At least I believe you can slide. Okay, these guys are clearly dangerous. Oh, okay, I went too close. What I was going to do was I was going to suck him in, but I don't even know if you can. Can you? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. Crash. All right. I'm just flying above the screen. Bruh, getting game overs on stream while I beat Dreamland at age 4. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Wait a minute, but Dreamland was an easy game, though. I don't think I died almost any times when I played Dreamland. That was the Game Boy game. Of course it's going to be easy. Dreamland is the easiest game ever. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's literally a Game Boy game. That's like 20 minutes long, nonetheless. Okay, I'm safe. For now. Oh no! I guess I'm not safe at all. It's a remake of this? Oh, Nightmare in Dreamland. Okay, Nightmare in Dreamland. I thought you meant the original Dreamland on the Game Boy. I didn't read quick enough. Or I read too quick, I should say. Didn't they make Nightmare in Dreamland easier, though? Because one of the things about Nightmare in Dreamland is that it had less slowdown. Was that because... Oh my god, I'm really getting my ass kicked out here. I don't understand how I'm this bad at Kirby, but I was able to beat Ninja Gaiden. Clearly I used to be better at video games than I am now. Okay. The most miserable playthrough. Yeah, but the reason why Nightmare in Dreamland is easier is because... Oh, okay, that was smart. The reason why Nightmare in Dreamland is easier is because the game has less slowdown, whereas obviously because this is an NES game doing as much as it is, it's going to have more slowdown. Well, okay, that was smart. The Dark Souls of Kirby games. Literally a Game Boy game is the least descriptive way to describe a game you can have. There's many Game Boy games, many of them difficult as hell. Yeah, no, that's true. In fact, I've played more Game Boy games that, like, are as difficult, if not more difficult than most NES games, so... the thing is that for all of those games, there were a lot of really easy Game Boy games as well, where, like, take, for instance, okay, I have to run really fast. Oh, shit! Okay. I have to run, but yeah, there were a lot of games on Game Boy that were also really easy, like, meant for kids and stuff. Okay, I have to speed up over here. Speed up! Come on! No! Well, okay, I just won't do that. I'll just go through the door. I don't care that much about getting the secrets, so it's okay. You should be able to use the laser from the right to the fuse from a distance. Well, it's too late now. Oh, we're in we're in Dreamland now. Everything's black and white. Oh. This is really creative right here. Like, the fact that they would make everything black and white like a Game Boy. I don't even know if that was the intention of this level, but if it was, that would be amazing. It's a callback? I think it is too. Yeah, wait a minute. This looks like the first level of Kirby's Dream Land. It's intentional? Oh, okay. Yeah, this looks like actually the first level from what I remember of that game. This is so cool! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I need to get it back. Okay, here we go. Oh, dear. Except it should be puke green and brown, not black and white. That is true. I mean, technically, the games were black and white if you put them in a super... What is it? Super Game Boy? So technically they were black and white at their base level, but on the Game Boy itself, they were puke green. They were designed for the Game Boy, not the Super Game Boy. That is true. I mean, there are certain things that you want to make more visible, that you want to make more visible, when you're designing something in mind, in mind for it to be on the Game Boy, which has the puke green screen. But at the same time, like the game cartridges themselves, um, oftentimes they were made with specific colors that could only be seen on the Super Game Boy. And that's why on the Game Boy Color, a lot of those colors were actually accessible because of the fact that on the Super Game Boy, they made them there. So, and then at their base level, they are black and white. Um, because of the putting them into the Game Boy Color and the Super Game Boy, they come out as black and white. So like the internally the game was black and white. It was just designed to be on a green screen, you know? I love the music in this game. The soundtrack is so good. One by one. One by one, I'll make my way there. Let's see what the chat is saying. Um, let's see here. It's just that the Game Boy screen. It's just a Game Boy screen. The games are black and white. Let's see. At Sir Appleton, I found the 3D ones easier for some reason. I think those ones were made more with kids in mind. But yeah, some games actually had the colors you could see on GBC. First 3D Zelda I beat was Wind Waker when I was like 7 or 8, maybe. Um, I think I almost beat Ocarina of Time when I was like 5 years old, but I didn't truly beat it because my brother was helping me. And so me and my brother played Ocarina of Time together when I was like 5. Oh! Oh no! It's okay, I just got it back. I like the umbrella. Because he looks funny when he's carrying it in the air. Wind Waker is the next one I want to play. Play Majora's Mask. Um, Superstar is the best Kirby because it has the totally radical 90s yo 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 backwards cap power up. Yeah. I didn't actually know that. I had a copy of Superstar, but I ended up trading it on the Nintendo Age forums a long time ago. Because I just don't have a Super Nintendo, so I could never play it. I still have my Super Mario World, despite the fact that I still don't have a Super Nintendo. Oh, okay. Okay. This guy's pretty mean. He's a rude dude with a rude tude. See, look at you. I've got an umbrella. You can't fuck with me. Why don't you have a SNES? It's the best Nintendo system. Mostly just because of price. I've oh my goodness. Okay, I stopped paying attention for a moment there. a lot of it is because of price. Like a lot of the games cost a lot of money, and I've never sat down and got one just because the cost of the games is quite intimidating. Um, and at this point, I don't even really have space for it. But when I have more space, when I occupy more space, when I have more space, um, I do want to get one, and when I have the money for one. Oh, okay. This guy's he's really toying with me here. Wow, that barely did anything. I feel like this is going to be a long battle. Let's see what the chat is saying. Oh, okay. For some reason it didn't let me pause. Majora's Mask I already beat, my favorite until now. It's really cool. It's a very good game. Um, I knew La Water Tower meme, but I actually did get stuck on it as a kid on GameCube Collection and didn't come back until 3DS. Yeah, I didn't get very far on the GameCube Collection of Majora's or of Zelda with Majora's Mask on it because um, I always got confused with the time mechanic because I was really young, and so I liked Ocarina of Time more because of that because it was less easy to get confused in that game and run out of time because you only have 3 days. They give you 3 days in that game, and it's really it can be a struggle because of that. Oh no. Uh, this guy's more mean than all the other guys confirmed. Is there like no building I can go into to get a power up like I could in the other stages? There's gotta be, right? So I could go back and I could go back to one of the power up rooms and I could cheat like that, but I mean, it's kind of better to defeat him the authentic way. Hmm. Okay. Let's see. He's toying with me now. Oh, he has a hammer! He's gonna hammer smash my face! Hammer Smash Face by Cannibal Corpse, a good song that you should listen to. Oh boy! Okay. Oh. I'm gonna get my face hammer smashed in. Cannibal Corpse is pretty overrated, not gonna lie. But I still like their music a lot. I was listening to them the other day. Okay. I found myself, ever since I got back into school, I've listened to all of the old metal bands that I used to listen to in middle school all the time, that for some reason I just hadn't revisited, because I just needed the angry music in order to help me focus, and also in order to deal with where I was, which was school, and so I was listening to, like, Anthrax, and Obituary, and Slayer, and, Cannibal Corpse, and Death, and, which other ones did I listen to? Municipal Waste I was listening to a little bit of. I don't like them too much. Oh my goodness. Uh, let's see. I went back and listened to some Megadeth as well. You see, there's a reason why my dog's middle name is Limmy. Have you played Star Tropics? I actually own a physical copy of Star Tropics. Oh yeah, that was the other one, Motorhead. I'd been listening to in school a lot too. I put a lot of Motorhead songs on my... Um, only half of those bands have lyrics I would call angry. It's more about the sound. And it was just a quick descriptor I had off the top of my head. I suppose violent might be a better descriptor of the sound on a bass level at the very least. Obviously, solemn sounds is another one, or just quick, heavy, hard, whatever you want to say. Oh boy. How many times? How many times have I tried fighting this guy again? It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's really bad. Oh boy! Oh no no no! Oh, it's really bad. Okay, what was I doing? I need to pay better attention to what I'm doing. Okay, go under him. Okay. I like how he just becomes a little blob. I never played Kirby's Adventure. Is DDD actually hard, or does Star just suck? I'm just bad at the game. I'm just really bad at the game. See, no, I'm never gonna give up. There's no strangers to love, you know the rules, and so do I. Okay, here we go. That's what I thought, because it was never this hard in Superstar. Okay, okay. Did you ever play Kirby's Dream Land 3? Get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Okay, okay. No! See, the main problem, the reason why it looks difficult is because I keep not being near him when the stars shoot out, and you have to get the stars in order to shoot him with them, you know? So and so okay, I'm hitting my controller and oh, there we go. I just had to be super close to him. Now he's freaking out. Okay. Should I play another game? I feel like I'm about to or okay, I have one only Kirby's I've played: Dreamland, Superstar Pinball, Amazing Mirror, Return to Dreamland. Kirby Pinball was very fun. Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna play another game. I'm embarrassing myself too much for one day. What else? What else do you fellows and I suppose ladies and gentlemen want to play today? Let me look. I have to move all of these clothes out from on top of this box every time I want to get something out of it. Let's see here. What do we want to play today? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is very fun. It's not a bad game. I'm not kidding. It's not bad. Since Monkey Zulu mentioned pinball, I have High Speed Pinball, world's #1. This game was actually made by Rare before Rare became like a super awesome based company. They were making that game. It actually is a pretty good pinball game though. Let's see, Rad Racer, Dragon Spirit. What do I want to play? Ninja Gaiden 2. I haven't played very much of Ninja Gaiden 2. That would just be me dying a lot though. But I did beat Ninja Gaiden, so you guys can't say, "Oh man, I'm not kidding." This game, The Little Mermaid by Capcom is actually a great video game. No joke. This is not a joke. It's really, really good. Please don't make fun of me for this. It's serious. It's a really good game. Let's see. Pinbot. I didn't even know I owned this. Why do I have so many pinball games on the NES? There was a time when I really liked pinball games. This is by the way, this is my copy of Super Mario World. This is the only Super Nintendo game I have. The reason I own this is because I had a friend in fifth grade, where in the summer of in the summer of that year, I went over to his house and he just had random Super Nintendo games around, so I picked them up and I basically asked him if I could have them, and he said yes because they didn't have a Super Nintendo. So let's play Little Mermaid. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's see. These cartridges are such a throwback. I mean, they're not a throwback for me, but I think they're pretty cool. Um, See, I have a feeling the guy who said that didn't actually grow up with the game, so that's only a hunch. I don't want to assume because Mugger Fugger was born in 1980, and Coach Red Pill was born, not Coach Red Pill, Code Red Pill. He was born in 1974, and he watches my videos, so I'm assuming it's possible. Maybe he is older. Let's see. God damn it. Okay, I need to get a pair of pliers in order to get this game out. Um, let's see. Galactic Pinball on Virtual Boy is actually my favorite pinball game, but no one gives it credit because it's on Virtual Boy. Amazing soundtrack. Galactic Pinball is my favorite Metroid game. Yeah, I think the games that are on Virtual Boy, like I've never played them, so I can't speak of it, but I feel like there would be more good games. Look at this. I can't get this game out. It's permanently stuck. I'm not kidding. This is not a meme. It's actually stuck in there. I need to use like a tool to prod it out somehow. Um, let's see here. It's because of this modification I have in my system. When I replace the 72 pin connector with the blinking light win, turn it into a front loader, it ever since then it's become really difficult to get games out. Try using two hands. I mean, I can give it a shot. Um, two hands. The problem is that I can't even properly get my hands in there, and so I try to pick up the system. I need to get pliers. I don't know where pliers are though. Maybe I can look. See, now we're on Star's plier hunting adventure. Um, the, let's see here. No, well, I guess he wants to get out. Star's plier hunting adventure. Let's try to find pliers in this mess, this absolute mess of everything. I have to be careful not to die by walking over here. Where are the pliers? I don't know. Random computer over here for some reason. So sad. Look at this. A Sega Genesis Model 2. Just right here. I don't know why. What is in here? I want to know what's in here. Sega Genesis RF converter, what looks to be a power cord for it. Random cable. I don't have time to look through all of it. Oh, hey! Hey, this is a throwback. The Dreamcast modem. This was the modem that you plugged. This was the modem that you plugged onto the back of the Dreamcast, and you could plug internet through it. Let's see here. Okay, let's put this back. Pliers. Where are they? What did Monkey Zulu say in the chat? I'm sure the mods do make it harder, but the absurdity of using pliers to take an NES pack out is quite funny. I'm really not strong, but I'm telling you, it is difficult. It is really difficult. I'm not joking. Where are the pliers? Oh, hey, this was a great show. Look at this. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. Why is this just out? Why is this just like right here in front of all these boxes? Oh boy. Psych, the complete first season. This is a good show. I don't care who makes fun of me for saying that. It's a good show. Why is, like, these are getting broken over here? Who does this? This is volume 1 of Harvey Birdman. Let's see here. A sand disk. Okay, random sand disk. Let's see. Fallout 3 art book. Oh wow. I can show you guys how big-brained I am right now. Mensa presents the IQ workbook. I don't know why I find this so funny. The IQ workbook. No, I'm so big-brained. You guys don't even know. I can prove it. I can prove it live on air. Random thumbtack. Where? Let's see here. A knife. I don't know where I can find pliers in this house, but I don't who. Oh God, dear God, this is sad. Psych was so good until the last season, like so many other shows. It was a great show. It was honestly like, it wasn't underrated per se. I feel like it was just underrated by non-normies. Monk was a good show as well. I liked Monk. The last season of Monk I remember being actually really good, unlike Psych. Did you notice how the guy who played Sean in the show got like really fat by the end? I feel like he was starting to lose himself. Well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find pliers in all of this mess. Maybe if I go in here. I have to cover the camera though. This isn't my room. Oh, here they are. Okay. So these are not pliers, but I think this will get the job done. Okay. Hello, cat. He's right there. Hello. Every aughts a USA crime comedy blends together to me. Psych, Math, Monk, they're all the same show. Okay, Math was pretty bad. I didn't like Math. Okay, we're gonna do it. This you only get this on Star Videos, let me tell you. We're doing it. Okay, we did it. We got it out. It's right here, and I didn't damage it. I'm being very careful. Okay, I just damaged it because I dropped it. That was smart. Very, very smart. Well, the game's not in that great condition anyway. And I'm not a collectionist. I'm not a collectionist. A collector. I'm not a... So it's okay. I don't like damaging things, though. It makes me feel bad. See, this is the difference, is that you don't push down. You just push the game in, and you kind of have to use a little bit of force to push it in, because the pins take a moment to connect with one another, but you don't push it down. You're actually unable, and so... I'm not a collectionist. What a way with words. That's a reference. I'm not going to tell you what the reference is, because it's funnier if people don't know what I'm referring to. There we go. Woo! Where did my pliers go? Well, they're not my pliers, but yeah, let's just put those there. Why does the door even close if you don't push it down? Because the door's there. I think the door looks pretty cool. Let's see here. My phone. I need to fix my phone's tripod. Let's see here. Because it's starting to unscrew. I said how, not why. Oh, okay, sorry, I read a bit too quickly. The reason the door closes is because the cartridge doesn't actually block it. And I think I can demonstrate this by showing you is that it opens up, but there's a bit of space here where basically the cartridge doesn't take up enough space to not be able to close. So it's in there just enough. Where like technically the NES never really had to be pushed down. The reason why they did it was in order to market it to American consumers, because they wanted it to look like a VHS set. Because they thought a VHS set looked less like a toy, and so it would be more marketable after the, video game crash of 1983 and all that. I have to get my dog because he might be getting into something. No, don't go in there. I don't want you to eat something you're not supposed to eat in that room. Okay. I haven't played this game in a long time. Wait, you never had to push it down. Has my whole life been a lie? No, you had to push it down with the old pin connector. It's because I replaced it with a modified version. But yeah, technically you never had to. It's just that they made it that way in the consumer product because that was the marketing scheme. Let's see. Okay, I don't need the story. Oh dear, it's been so long since I've played this game. See, she looks cool. She looks fly as fuck right now. Slick and hip, upper lip. Wait, she doesn't have a mustache. That doesn't make sense. See, look at this. Oh yeah. Based. I think I was supposed to push that shell somewhere. Okay, what do I do with this? You could use it to kill people. See, this is cool. I love the soundtrack too. All of these old Capcom games. Oh shit! I didn't put them in a bubble first. All of these old Capcom games have really nice sounding soundtracks. There we go. Why do people call the 2000s the aughts? I find that strange, the aughts. Who came up with that? I feel like Monkey Zulu would know because Monkey Zulu knows a lot more about this weird generation stuff than I do. So why do they call it the aughts? I find that strange. The worst is when people remove NES packs without pressing the eject button. Like, yeah, I know you technically can, but it's painful to watch. Or SNES packs, excuse me, I read it wrong. But yeah. The aughts. It's so strange. The aughts. It's not British. The Brits call the decade the Rots. Or the Naughties. Oh, the Naughties. Okay. I used to be racist against British people. I'm not anymore, but I used to believe that, like, that the majority of British people were like, terrible and stuff. I used to be actually racist against British people. Luckily, I'm not anymore. Okay. Look at this. He's just stuck there. British people and Americans are basically just the same. What does based mean? Is it a synonym of bad? No, it's a synonym of good. Oh no! Okay. Oh no, okay, I looked at the chat for a moment and then I got hit. See, look at how good I am at this game for little girls. This is a game for little girls, and I'm already I'm playing it astoundingly. See, you hold a shell. I feel like, I don't know what it is, and I have no evidence to back this up, but I feel like whenever I do a video or a stream, I actually play video games worse than I normally do. Of course, it would seem as if I'm making that up, though. There we go. Okay, this is where yeah, this is around. Oh, here he is, the shark. I forget how to beat this guy, actually. How do you do it? Oh, wait, he just ate me. Is there something? There's something you're supposed to pick up, I believe. Um, shit. Oh wait, no, you can do this. Yeah. Oh no! Okay, I forgot they could expire. Okay, so I have to grab it and then throw it at him at some point. Oh! God damn it. There we go. Okay. That's how pitiful I am at this game. Oh no, I accidentally threw it up. I didn't know you can do that. But I suppose it's a good skill to learn. I haven't played this game in so long, it's kind of incredible. Now, my sister used to be really into this game. I would play it with her, because I was trying to get her into NES games, and so I showed her this game. There we go. And now, we have the vial that we need. It's a very simple game, but it's fun. Wasn't there like a... I feel like there was a Little Mermaid game on the Genesis as well, though. So I specifically had the NES version, but something tells me, and I don't exactly remember, but something... Oh dear, I should have kept that. Something tells me that there was a Sega Genesis Little Mermaid game. I don't remember, though. I wish I had my Genesis plugged up still. But I just don't have the room for it right now. My dogs are barking about something. Okay, how do I... Is there... Oh, wait, no, I need a fish. I need to get a fish and then bring it up there. The Genesis Little Mermaid is an entirely different game. I had a feeling, yeah, because it's not made by Capcom, right? Yeah, so if it's not made by Capcom, it's going to be very different. Okay. My dog is upset. I need to... Are you okay, bird? It's okay. Shh. No, it's okay. It's okay. Shh. It's okay. He's upset about something. I don't... Usually when the mail lady comes each day, the dogs both get really upset, because I live right beside a road, so... Oh, it's here. Come here. Come here. I live right beside a road, and so, the cars, sometimes you get these assholes who have these smokestacks on their car and stuff. These guys really piss me off, you know? As a person who cares about, the environment. There are these people in my state who I know. He's kind of mad right now. Let's see, what do you want to do? You want to go for a walk? There are these people in my state who essentially what they do is that they make their cars put out more carbon dioxide. They make their cars put out more smoke than they're supposed to put out. Like, they intentionally modify their cars in order to put out more smoke. It's like, how... Oh, it's because my dad's home. Okay, I believe the stream has to end now because he's probably bringing me lunch now. So this was a fun time. Thank you to all who came out to listen. Correct, it wasn't Capcom. Remember, NES era, Nintendo didn't allow third-party devs to make games for other systems. That is true. This was a fun time. Thank you for listening to me ramble and be bad at video games. I'll see you all later.